On today's show, Denise discovers milk pouring from rocks. That's interesting. Christine is attacked by the patient in the hospital bed beside her. That's a scary dream. But then she has a good dream where she is with Megan Markle. All that and more on today's show. Welcome to the Dream Interpretation Podcast with Michael and Sandy.
Welcome. Hello, everybody from Hawaii.
This is another half hour of us analysing your dreams to tell you what they mean. If you want to know what you're meant to be doing at this very moment in time, then look no further than your dreams, because they tell you everything, what the next step on your journey is. Doesn't matter what you think it is. If your dreams are contradicting you, your dreams are correct. And you are wrong. All right. What else have we got? We have a channeling course coming up. So if you're interested in channeling and think that might be for you, you can get on a call with me. Go to dream-analysis.com/channel. We have our
Summit. Don't forget the summit. But before you start, the channeling class starts not this Sunday. No, it's this Sunday, the 27th. So everybody get out there and get going if you want to be part of it. I'm so excited.
Yes, the Dream Summit is all the way October 6th to 8th. But we do have bonuses to encourage people to sign up early. So if you want to get involved in that, go to dream-analysis.com/free. That's an intense weekend. You give us $97, we make you become an expert at dream interpretation, and then we give you your $97 back. And you get to keep the bonuses. You don't have to send them back to us, because we're good like that.
Yes, and this will be fabulous. I'll tell you, the last 2 times that we've done it have been absolutely phenomenal. People have been blown away. So I'm looking forward to the summit in October. It's the 6th through the 8th, so put it on your calendar. And remember, if you don't show up for the whole thing, that's okay, as long as you show up for a little bit, because we will have recordings of the event. I understand how hard it is to set aside 3 days, but I know you can at least make an hour or 2 and then listen to the rest. And I'll tell you, it will be mind-blowing. Anyways, Michael, what else is going on? We got the channeling starting the 27th and the summit starting October 6th through 8th. Anything else exciting?
There's always stuff. There's always with this stuff, but that's enough for now. So we're going to start off with a dream from Denise. Sandy's going to read it, and then we're going to break it up. Why? Because I had the time to do that and work on little pieces of it at a time. But here we go.
Alrighty, I'm excited about this dream. It looks like a very interesting dream with lots of twists and turns. So the title of it is Milk Pouring from Rocks, and it's from Denise. In the beginning, I was at a swimming pool that was very deep. My sister was there. I jumped into the pool and was enjoying swimming around. I held my breath and dived deeper and deeper towards the bottom of the pool. At some point, I did not have to hold my breath, and I was fine. I found an unfinished basement in the bottom of the pool with 2 rooms. Decided one of the rooms could be my bedroom. At that point, I thought I'd better swim back up to the surface, or my sister might think that I have drowned. So I went up to the surface. Then the dream went into being in a place of work or school. I had lost my keys and couldn't find them. I was frustrated with myself for losing them because I couldn't do anything without them. I left and came back the next day. A woman who was an authoritative figure, a boss or a teacher, told me that my keys had been found. I was very grateful to her because I found that I wasn't able to do anything without my keys. I suddenly found myself outside in a rocky place with other people standing around. Suddenly, streams of milk started pouring out of the rocks. I was excited about that and collected a bowl full of milk. I tried to drink it, but found it was too strong and too thick. I suddenly realized it needed to be watered down. So it was drinkable, and let everyone know this. There you go.
All right. So she calls it milk pouring from rocks. And this is why we want you to title your dreams, because there's lots of things there. There's the underground basement, There's the 2 rooms that there, the fact that she can breathe underwater. When you title your dream, we get a lot more about what is the real focus for you. And we're going to tell you what the milk pouring from the rocks means, but you're going to have to wait because we're going to do the rest of the dream to begin with. Sandy.
Alrighty. In the beginning, I was at a swimming pool that was very deep. My sister was there. I jumped into the pool and was enjoying swimming around. I held my breath and dived deeper and deeper towards the bottom of the pool. At some point, I did not have to hold my breath, and I was fine. I found an unfinished basement in the bottom of the pool with 2 rooms. Decided one of the rooms could be my bedroom.
So we know Denise is a channel because she's breathing underwater. That's a classic symbol for it. We don't see it too often, but we see it enough. And there's also 2 rooms at the bottom of the water. So the 2 is always almost always about channeling. It's probably safe to say that even if it's about something else, you're also a channel, even if that's not the proper meaning of that dream. But she definitely has a spiritual depth that is not explored. And we know it's not explored because she says, well, where does she put it? There's an unfinished basement there. So whoever was doing that, working on that, stopped at some time. We do know it's spiritual because of the water, but the bedroom in such a strange location also means the same thing. So what have we got next?
At that point, I thought I better swim back up to the surface or my sister might think I have drowned. So I went up to the surface.
All right. In essence, we know she's asked to deepen her spiritual understanding, and up until now, she is, at least now in the dream. However, she comes back to the surface because of concern for her sister. So in reality, she holds herself back from deepening her spiritual understanding because of the influence of her sister. But here's what's true about dreams. The sister can be a stand-in for mom. So it is entirely possible that when you trace it back to source, it is issues with mom that are holding her back. We can add another piece. The 2 rooms is about channeling, but 2 is also about sharing. So we can refine our understanding of the dream to say she is meant to share who she is spiritually, like share her deep understanding of spirituality and her channeling.
Interesting. Then the dream went into being in a place of a work or school. I had lost my keys and couldn't find them. I was frustrated with myself for losing them because I couldn't do anything about them. I left and came back the next day.
So the transition to school or a place of work is interesting. Schools are common in dreams about learning who you are through the development of your higher aspects, your gifts. But that's what the underwater exploration was about earlier in the dream. But she left her spiritual exploration due to mom's influence. And the next thing she is saying is that she lost her keys and is frustrated. So the way she says this, Denise knows there is more to her life and indeed more to her. She knows there is something she's not doing, and yet it is something that would come easily to her. The key is a fundamental discovery about herself through deep spiritual exploration. What that exploration unlocks, see what I did there, put on key, within her will make her path clear, or at least clearer to the point that the frustration is removed because she has taken the correct next steps.
Wow, that is intense. I love that. Alrighty, next part. A woman who was an authoritative figure, a boss or a teacher, told me that my keys had been found. I was very grateful to her because I found that I wasn't able to do anything without my keys. Oh, there you go, Michael.
Poor Denise. The authority figure is a healing agent, a guide who helps you. And a boss or teacher both signify the same thing, that Denise is a spiritual leader. We already know that because she can go deep into spiritual things, deep into the water. It is the appearance of this healing agent that was the first nudge for me to tell me that mom is the issue, because healing agents go the opposite way of the parent that caused the issues in her life. A helpful woman is the opposite of mom. Now, that's not to say that mom is all bad, but definitely in the area of self-discovery for Denise.
Ah, she wasn't helpful there, huh? Alrighty, next part. I suddenly found myself outside in a rocky place with other people standing around. Suddenly, streams of milk started pouring out of the rocks. I was excited about this and collected a bowl full of milk. I tried to drink it, but found it to be too strong and too thick. I suddenly realized it needed to be watered down. so it was drinkable, and I let everyone know this.
So now Denise has the key she lost, and the scene changes again. She's excited and discovers how to use milk from nature to feed everyone. Everyone is what she says in the dream, and so that's significant. This is a somewhat unusual gift. She's not feeding them. If she was, that would have meant she's a hands-on healer. Instead, she is telling them what they need to do in order to nourish themselves. And this is spiritual leadership in practice. That's her strong gift. She can work with very large groups to direct them on how to heal and replenish themselves following hard times. How to look at hard times and get something positive so they grow from them. That's it in a nutshell. Sandy, you have to have questions.
Oh my goodness. Wow, what an intense dream. I really love it. Not only did it point out what the issue was that was holding her back, it gave her her gift and exactly what her gift will do in the future when she starts using it fully. That's amazing. All right. So we have a rocky place. What's going on with rocks?
So rocks are about hard times, and people are standing around just, they're not doing anything. And so milk from rocks is like, rocks would also be like a karmic symbol in a dream. Like a boulder on your path would definitely be a karmic symbol. Also kind of a symbol for the elimination system, but we'll ignore that for the moment until Sandy asks questions. So getting the milk from the rocks is like, how can I get something nourishing from an event that was bad?
Oh, very interesting. And then, of course, a bowl full of milk. Now, milk has never been a good sign in any dream. So what does that mean?
So this was the second big nudge to mom, obviously, with the milk in the dream. And we also see the elimination system with the bowl and the milk. But when I channeled on this, it's like, she can drink diluted milk. So she can drink watered down milk, which is kind of what the dream says anyway. So really the only thing I would say, because it's unusual, most of the time when we channel on this, we're told the dreamer can't have dairy. It's not quite what we're being told for her. So I would say it'd be more like, you definitely can't have concentrated milk. So if you're drinking evaporated milk, that kind of thing, that's definitely not good for you. But that's kind of like a second theme of the dream. Bowls are also positive, like in that they're a container, they're nourishing. You can also kind of symbolize a womb symbol, like so new growth in a dream, and that's more what it's about for her.
Wow, that's amazing. And then, of course, the keys. She lost them, and then a woman found them. So the keys, are those the keys of life? What do you mean?
So, well, the keys to what she's meant to be doing. We all have within us, within our DNA, coded what it is we came here to do. And when we're out of touch with that, we have a feeling that we're out of touch with it. We know. Our dreams show it, obviously. But so she was doing this deep exploration and breathing underwater, and she was really happy about it, and even saying, I can make one of these rooms my bedroom. And then because of family influence, she said, oh, no, people are going to be worried about me. I better not do this. And she goes to the surface. And right then she said she'd lost her keys. So it's another way for a dream to show the same thing. I stopped exploring who I am or exploring my deep spiritual understanding. And then I realized I'd lost my keys. So the key being, this is what I'm meant to do going forward in life, or the key to my path in life, or whatever way you want to state it. But it's the same thing as her getting out of the water because of the sister.
Or mom in this case. But what an amazing dream. I really like that. Well, I'm ready to move on. Let's look at the next dream. This one sounds scary. It's titled Terror, and it's from Christine. I'm in a hospital bed recovering from surgery on my leg, possibly my knee. The room is dark. Light comes in through the open door on my left. A voice from the bed on my right, apparently it's a double room, says, "What are you in here for?" I remarked, "Leg surgery." He says, "Me too, my ankle." I asked how he was doing. He said, "Okay. They have good drugs here, but I'm going to have to get better drugs soon." I asked, "What kind?" He responds, "Acid." There is something menacing in his voice. I tell him, "I don't think that's a good idea. It might help, but it most likely will make things much worse." He starts to slither out of his bed, coming towards me. He is going to kill me. I start to scream, but nothing comes out. Then only a small voice. He keeps coming at me. I keep trying to scream. I've been drugged. A muffled scream, and then a full-throated scream emerges from my body. At this point, my husband wakes me up. I have actually screamed and scared him. Never happened before. Outside, the wind is blowing very hard against the windows. It is raining, but only for a minute. I had broken out of my dream. Was this an entity? Oh, very good question. All right, Michael.
No, it wasn't. So this dreamer was working on reconnecting with masculine energy. And then we see this in the dream. Hospitals are about your state of mind. And so in a hospital bed, that's normally a good thing to see in a dream because you're in a bed, you're recovering from the surgery. Like, that couldn't be better. You've already had the treatment. And so this says that the masculine energy work that you got done worked, or at least is trying to work. And that we can resist the healing. You know, that's obviously always on the cards for us. We can resist any healing work that somebody is doing on us. And we kind of see that happen in a way of sorts in the dream, but I'll make sense of it. So anyway, the recovering from leg or possibly knee surgery. So it's healing the masculine side, and it's going to allow her to move forward in life in a much better way, because that's what the legs and the knees are about. Knees are about flexibility and so on. So it's like, with this healed, I'm going to be in a better place. And then she's talking to the guy who's recovering in the bed beside her, and he's on the right. The masculine side is on the right, and that's where he is in the dream too. So that's all very good, but then it takes a weird turn. So the setup is great, and if the dream ended there, it's like, excellent, you don't need to do anything. But here's what it is. When we start working on an issue that's major, a major trauma from childhood or whatever it happens to be, sometimes our dreams are going to show that in a light that where our subconscious is basically saying to us, why would you ever want to look at this? This is so life-threatening. This is dangerous. This could kill you. Please don't do it. And that's what we see with the guy kind of transforming into this evil snake kind of character. It's the dreamer's fears coming to life in a dream. I've said it many times. There are three characters in a dream. There's the authority figure, spiritual authority, which is your higher self and guides and all that sort of character. Then there is your subconscious, which shows up in the dream by changing the nature of characters. A lot of the time, the nature is changed instantly, so they never become they never start as a nice character, but the intention always would be that they would. And so here we see the subconscious making the change slowly, like talking to the guy, everything's fine, then it changes. That's the subconscious playing its role in the dream. And then the third part is the bewildered dreamer, who's lying in the bed in the hospital, looking at this weird stuff that's going on. So it's interesting. So what will we do in this dream? We will go back into this dream, have the dreamer get back into a meditative state, and then stop the guy from going in that direction. Overcome your fears about working on your masculine side, or looking at your masculine side, or the issues that are needed or are around that in childhood. With this particular therapy, the dreamer isn't doing that, isn't actually looking at those things. It's an energetic healing, but we still see it bring up the fears. It's kind of cool. It's a cool dream, but I imagine it was really scary for Christine to have at the time.
Yeah, so Michael, what about the acid and the better drugs and all of that? What has that got to do with anything?
Addiction to power is really what a lot of us are working on, or a lot of, that's what the original Fall from Grace is all about, is addiction to power. And so when we see addictions in dreams, because the dreamer doesn't do drugs or anything like that, it's really about that. It's like, I'm asleep or I'm drugged, like even the dreamer says, I'm drugged. We are all, let's say, a little bit stupid in some way, that we hold on to the thing that causes our problems. Really, we just need to let it go. But that's easier said than done. And so life is designed to allow us to let go of things in stages. And here, it's a big push. The angels often say, we can heal things within you in an instant, but you're not ready for it. Your mind isn't ready for that type of fast healing. So we go as slow as is needed for each individual. And that's kind of interesting, isn't it? That the path back has to be slow on purpose sometimes.
Wow. Wow. Alrighty. And then, so the whole thing about slithering out of bed and killing her is just her imagination changing the guy?
her subconscious. So it's not really, she wouldn't be consciously changing the guy. It's her subconscious is saying, look, so here's what it is. Your higher self says, here's the masculine side, and your masculine side is damaged and is in bed and recovering. So it needs healing.
Oh, got it.
And we then project, or our subconscious projects onto that message and says, is this something I want or don't want? And we see this in dreams all the time when we're bringing somebody through our healing course, which is also starting September 2nd. But when we bring somebody through that, we look at their dreams to see what point are they at in the arc of healing. Because at the early stages, we're going to see these negative things. Not early stages, maybe 2 or 3 weeks in, we're going to see these things. Because like they've really started doing the work, and now it's like, oh, now I remember why I didn't want to do this in the first place, because all this crap is coming up. Mm-hmm. And then it changes. And instead of negative men, we'll see maybe not so bad, or we'll see a negative male, but you'll go, oh, wait, I know this guy from high school. And there will be something that will just disempower the fear. And it's an instantaneous thing when it happens. Or it may just be that you don't remember that dream, but you will have dreams where you now see positive characters. So positive males, you'll be like, oh my God, I'm in the bed beside Robert Downey Jr. or whoever would be somebody that you would really love to be with. And so that's what we look for. When we see that, we know that the person is very close to finished. But when we see a person in hospital, we do know from their dreams, they definitely are close to finish. There's maybe only 2 weeks left in what they need to work on. So this energy healing that she got has really accelerated things for her. Since I've talked about it, I wasn't going to talk about it. We've talked about it in the last few shows, but it's a healing with Ann Tucker. Her dreams showed this new mechanism that she has, and she started exploring it. It was really exciting for us to see it in her dreams and then see how it's going to work and then try it out. And she is going to be offering it, I think, to the general public pretty soon. But this is a person who's a member of her second pilot group for this healing method. We see it working well.
Oh, awesome. That's exciting to see. Well, Michael, do we have time for one more dream?
Yes, we do.
Awesome. The next dream is called Megan Markle and Me, and it's also from Christine. This is just a dream snippet. There was more to it, but I can't remember. I was in a workroom sitting with Megan Markle. We are working on some project, trying to get it organized. We are having a lot of discussion about how to complete this project. At one point, I go back to my motel room, which is part of the facility. Nothing fancy. My female roommate is in the room, in bed. She wakes up and we chat. I think she is another royal. Oh, I like that dream, Michael. That's a much better dream than the first one. Mm-hmm.
So this is the point of it. Not all our dreams are going to be bad. Sometimes we accept it. So she's in a room with Megan Markle. Again, she can't remember the whole dream. And then at the end of it, she says, oh, there's another royal too. Well, clearly you're everything in the dream. That's rule one. So she is royal, or she is a spiritual leader. And she's working on a project, trying to get it organized. That's very good. And having lots of discussions, all very positive things to see in a dream. The motel room says issues from birth that come back, like it's like a hotel lobby, that kind of stuff. And she says it's nothing fancy. So that's a negative. So this is like, okay, we have Meghan Markle and we have the other royal, and she has reverence for them. But she doesn't have reverence for her own origin. And that's the problem that we see in the dream. There is nothing fancy about me. I don't fit this mold. But these other people, they're great. It's just me. I'm not the great one. And of course, I'm saying it in a kind of an exaggerated way, but that's really what it's about. So that's something that she needs to heal. So this dream is saying it in a very innocuous way. There's no real fear, but the meaning is the same. So like you can say, here's what's going on. I don't feel that special. I don't feel worthy. That's masculine energy, by the way. And but these other people, these are great. These people deserve all the respect in the world and everything. This dream is saying the same as the other scary dream. It's like somebody can say it this way, and then when they're pushed a little bit, it suddenly becomes like, I have such an aversion to pushing myself into this space that it shows up as a scary, much, much scarier dream. But You can have a good dream. We can still destroy that for you. Just send it to the
Yes.
show. We're happy to do it.
Thanks, Michael. You'd like to destroy those dreams for me. I know you say it's only facts, but my goodness. Well, I think that's it for today, right?
That is it. Anything you want to close up with? Because you always want to say something, Sandy, about what's going on.
You mentioned quickly that we have a spiritual dimension of dreams, or is it the Dream Tracker's Guide, the healing course that's coming up on September 2nd? You want to talk a little bit about that? I didn't even know we had that one on the books.
Yeah, sneaked it in. So we do courses all the time. Obviously, you can always look up dream-analysis.com/courses, and you'll see what we have coming up. But this is I think, probably my favorite one. You know, maybe the mentorship is my favorite, but this one is included in the mentorship, so that's fair enough. But this is where people really transform their lives. Like we take you from where you are now, work on the biggest issue that your dreams are showing, and then help you overcome that. And who you are as a person after that is profoundly different. And what I really love about it is, you know, you can look at the traits and things that you don't like, that like your maybe fear of sharing who you are, sharing your feelings, or feeling not worthy, like we saw in Christine's dream. You don't have to work on those issues. There's a process we put you through while looking at your dreams, and we keep feeding you things to do from the dreams that we look at, because we look at maybe 70 of your dreams over the duration of this course. And with that, you are going to change. So you're just going to follow the process, and those negative traits will just disappear, because the trauma that underpins them, the trauma that caused you to develop them in the first place, is healed, or healed to such an extent that those negative traits are no longer required. Our negative traits are really a defensive mechanism that we pick up and we adopt in childhood. And like, think about it, how smart are you as a child? So we adopt them in childhood as a way to survive a cruel world. When you heal the trauma, you no longer have your subconscious believing it's a cruel world. Your paradigm view of the world shifts, and then the world around you transforms without it having to do anything. It's because you change on the inside, the world around you changes. We filter the world. We only see what we want to see, or what we're capable of seeing. So when you change on the inside, what you're capable of seeing in the world around you completely transforms. It's amazing, wonderful to watch.
Yes, that is the whole reason I got into this business with you, Michael, is because I saw that and I saw that and I kept seeing that. And it's like every class I saw everybody change. And I thought, I want to be part of that. That is exciting.
All right, we will see you next week, everybody. Take care.
Have a great week. Bye.